That is the Guru who told him, just follow the sense of I am. That's it. And his Guru told him, I am not your Guru. You go within and just follow the sense of I am and just be with I am. That's it, nothing else. Maharaj was not initiated. He didn't read a zillion books. Just that much he got. And he followed it to the T. And he attained it. Yeah? And then when he got there, he understood that devotion, the devotion to Brahman, to everything, to nothing. Yeah? And he just symbolized that as, okay, this is the spark, this is where it began. The devotion actually is there. That is true love. Till that time you don't know. And then trying to ape that, you're an ape then. You're not truly there. You have no idea, you get stuck. There's no bhakti as that's because bhakti, like I explained earlier, no, it's something that happens at the highest level, at final enlightenment, recognizing everything is me, there is no other, and the devotion to Brahman, that is bhakti. Dancing around statues and idols is not bhakti. Singing songs is not bhakti. And that you're doing spiritual entertainment for yourself. You just want to feel that I'm a spiritual person or a religious person.
It's just entertainment.
It's just, religious entertainment. Drop all these things. Drop all these things. Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga are explained by Lord Krishna to Arjuna in the battle. At that time, Arjuna is ignorant. Lord Krishna doesn't know what is he inclined towards. So he gives him everything. He gives him, okay, this is the Karma Yoga path. And he explains a lot of shlokas on that path. Arjuna doesn't get it. Then he goes ahead and explains Jnana Yoga stuff. Arjuna doesn't get it. Very long chapter. He explains Bhakti Yoga. Arjuna doesn't get it. That's how all these paths have come up. Some person might be inclined to something. So Karma Yoga is the path of action. Somebody who is attracted only to action. I want to do action because I think I will get happiness from it. His seva is also very conditional. You give me praise, you give me a title, put me on a pedestal, you say thank you to me. You put my name as the best volunteer. You should know my name personally. All those things come in. Then that's where you have to teach them. You're looking for karma phalam in your karma. You have to be devoid of karma phalam. This is Karma Yoga. When you do action, when you do something right, you get pleasure. When you do something wrong, you get pain. But peace of non-duality is above pleasure and pain. It's got nothing to do with pleasure and pain of Karma Yoga. So it's one level higher. Karma Yoga is lower than non-duality. It's a very boring, straight line peace. There is no pleasure there is no pain. This can be tolerated only by somebody of a very high caliber. Somebody of a very low caliber needs pleasure and needs pain also. He needs masala. He doesn't have that tolerance. He has not developed the power to tolerate silence. The peace is very silent. Not everybody is there yet. So Karma Yogi is lower, very clearly. There is only pure seeing. In pure seeing, there is that bliss of recognition. Going beyond pleasure is Ananda. The going beyond pleasure happens when there is pure seeing, pure vijnana. Stop looking for pleasure, stop looking for pain. Be comfortable with boring. Yeah, when they become comfortable with the boring or the neutral, then you can actually surrender and recognize the bliss of Ananda. Your reality is not there at the witness level yet. That is the only reality. There is only one, the supreme reality, the primordial aware. How can that be an experience? You cannot experience it. Witnessing is a stepping stone from illusion to reality. It is a very important stepping stone. A stepping stone is neither there nor there. It's in the middle. It helps you move up. You cannot move up without witnessing. Those who've tried have failed a zillion times. This step is very important because you stand on this step for a long time looking out, recognizing, yes, it's an illusion. Yes, it's an illusion. I love it, but it's an illusion. I want it, but it's an illusion. How long do I want it? When am I going to stop craving? You stand here a long time, longing for it. Then finally you realize it's no point, it's a mirage, it's not going to give me happiness. And finally the turning in happens. This is a very important step. Yeah? There are some paths and some teachers who don't teach you about the witnessing. They tell you go directly. It's very hard. It's like misleading the sadhak, not telling them that there is a stepping stone where you can wait. Take your time. Take your time. Yeah? Because that's where a considerate guru tells you, take your time. Be done with this illusion. It is an illusion and it's hard, no? You've been so attached here. It's so hard to let it go. So the stepping stone is very important. You stand there a long time and you recognize and you accept that it's a mirage. You finally give up your desires and your fears, both. Then the turning in happens. Turning in cannot happen suddenly.
It's 100% turning.
Yeah. Because you will still get a glimpse of this, but this will keep attracting. How many of you are experiencing this shuttle that I'm talking about? And isn't it nice to have a stepping stone under your foot rather than be in the air and worry what's going on? Where am I? Yeah, that stepping stone is very important. But do not make your house on the bridge. It's a bridge. You cannot make a house there because it keeps collapsing. Yeah? It teaches you a lesson by collapsing, by disappearing. Yeah? Its job is to teach you that lesson. That there's something higher. Come on, aim for that. Aim for that. So, witnessing itself is an experience. Don't build your house there. The final rest is beyond. Where would the witness collapse? That from which it was born. What was it born from? The primordial awareness. Yeah? That's why I attempt to get that glimpse. One glimpse, one glimpse. One glimpse will show you that you have always known it. It is you. It is your true nature. You have always known it. Once you get that taste, then you come and do it in samadhi. Then you know your samadhi is not an imagined black screen or white screen, a dark screen. It's not an imagination. Then you know, oh, this is what I am recognizing. Yeah? In your samadhi, you will recognize the I collapse. In your samadhi, you will taste the primordial awareness. Clear? Yeah? But I want you to get that one little glimpse first in Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana. It's moment to moment to moment to moment to moment to moment it happens. It's happening all the time. You're just not aware. It's not a big deal. It is nothing miraculous. Do not expect it to be enlightenment. It is not. It is desire. It's desire coming up, down, up, down, up, down from the water. When it emerges, you tend to become the body mind person. When it collapses, then you go to the other side, to the primordial awareness. Again, you come back to the body mind person. Again, you go to the primordial awareness. This keeps happening. That is why the person is not continuous. I gave you this task, right? Did you do it? Good. Now you realize this. Now, where does it go? Follow. Work on recognizing that the I is also an experience itself. Work hard on every little point, every little task. So that is task number 1. I is experience itself. Task number 2, I just gave you. The person comes and goes.